I have no special talent. I'm only passionately curious. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. We still do not know 1,000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. The only source of knowledge is experience. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives, and not in what he is able to receive. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. The road to perdition has ever been accompanied by lip service to an ideal. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. We cannot despair of humanity, since we ourselves are human beings. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you, mine are still greater. Information is not knowledge. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. That deep emotional conviction of the presence of a superior reasoning power, which is revealed in the incomprehensible universe, forms my idea of God. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. It should be possible to explain the laws of physics to a barmaid. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. I am not only a pacifist, but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. I want to know all God's thoughts. All the rest are just details. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. The process of scientific discovery is, in effect, a continual flight from wonder. People love chopping wood. In this activity, one immediately sees results. I do not believe in the God of theology who rewards good and punishes evil. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. I am a deeply religious non-believer. This is a somewhat new kind of religion. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Love is a better teacher than duty. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. The environment is everything that isn't me.